things right. You're reaching for things your mind conceived. You want to more than the truth you'll ever need. But you cannot see, you cannot feel what's in front of you, what's really real. It's turned away, trying to shut each other.
In the meantime,
there was the homecoming dance. All the black kids gravitated to one side of the cafeteria and the white kids to the other. A group of girls I wanted to be friends with so bad were over there. So I made my way close to where they were standing. The pretty one with the long ponytails, who was nice to me in class, but ignored me in the hallway. She was good at the swing out. Somebody always grabbed her hand and danced. Man, I wanted to laugh when they laughed, but I just couldn't make my way in. So I just stood there, watching. And then somebody asked me to dance. A slow drag.
No!
He took my hand, and I went. I knew what a hard-on was, but I didn't care. The slow drag girl let him cop a feel. She let him breathe on her neck. She gave him the ride he was looking for right there in front of God and everybody. The others were watching and he went back to report. On the fast songs, nobody asked the slow drag girl to dance. But on the slow jams, them boys broke their black asses trying to get across to the cafeteria. She must have screwed every boy on the dance floor that night. And to make matters worse, some of those boys were friends with her big sister, good neighborhood boys, who had noticed her long enough just to give her a ride to the dance, screw her on the dance floor, and then didn't give her a ride back home. But at the tender age of 13, she got it. They were boys. They'd screw anything, including the ghost. If they'd given her a ride back home, they'd have to admit that she was real. It occurred to her right then. Nobody ever really knew her. The kids at school, the boys at the dance. Nobody ever really knew who she really was. Home, school, church. Home, school, church. That was her world. And in that world, she was fucking invisible. Why?
To be seen or not be seen.
screwed, but not screwed.
Guilty, but not guilty.
Stop! Stop it!
I'm sorry, but the only upgrade from invisibility that we have to offer is that of being pronounced a she-dog in heat. That title was bestowed upon me when I came in one evening from sitting on the trunk of the car. The big sisters, they would sometimes sit in the driveway on the trunk of the car, and the kids from school and the neighborhood would congregate. They'd laugh and talk, and sometimes I'd join in. But most times, I stood back a little. I got tired of being the brunt of other people's jokes. But I wanted to do it too, because it looked like fun. So on this day, they were either gone or inside. So I hopped up on the trunk of the car. And if anybody stopped by, it was to ask where my sisters were. I wasn't trying to attract boys. I was trying to attract friends. So when she said, "You're like a she-dog in heat," it took me a minute to digest the initial shock of the words. Literal child, grammatical genius that I was, I mentally diagrammed the sentence, immediately replacing the word she-dog for bitch and horny for heat, and those words followed by the pronoun you, followed by the verb of being are, and I was stumped for a bit. See, it was the 1970s, and neither George Clinton nor the Funkadelics ever referred to sisters as bitches. It was not common and totally not cool to call those days. So even if my stepmother had possessed some psychic power or some hold on in which she detected the presence of a hoe, or even if the little birdie had told her about the homecoming dance, then her mother witch should have kicked in and informed my stepmother that I was not the only one at the dance. I was just the screwing post. Thus, in that eternal minute, I concluded that my stepmother possessed nothing. No psychic power, no hold on, no little birdie, no mother wit, nor tact. What my stepmother obviously did not know is that I was the slow drag girl, a ghost, just trying to maximize my time that I might be visible to the naked eye. And for a slow drag girl, being called a horny bitch by my own mother. Whoa! Ooh.
Wanna burn it?
No. This is not everything. Something is missing.
You know, a deacon at church said one time that you have to go into your secret closet and pray. So I did. Now, I must have been looking in the wrong closet because I ain't find God in church. And he wasn't in my closet either. See, when you're invisible, you begin to wonder if you even exist. And what people you think people see and what you know they should be seeing and observing is not congruent. You graduate to a verification. Who are you? And why are you here?
Who am I? And why am I here?
Why do you have these abilities, these gifts? And why do you feel the way that you feel? What's it all about? I feel.
Well, what's it all about?
Most people search for answers in church where God is supposed to be. You know? That's what they do. One time this lady, one of the matrons at my church, said she could see God in me. Nah, hell. I know. I was just as shocked as everybody else in the room. Because me, more than everybody else. But I was one of the resident writers. I was a usher on the youth usher board. I played piano. But still, every single time it persisted over and over and over again. Judgment, criticism. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't breathe. I felt judged. I felt criticized for not being good enough. That my gifts weren't enough. But then I was, then I aged on. I was 14. Then I was 15. Then I was 16. Then I was 18. Trying to just live day by day. Trying to make it. But I just wiped it away. I didn't think about anything. I just kept going with my life. I asked God, I said, God, why? Why? Why me?
But I am the common denominator in my life. So here I am, God.
Asking you all the questions that I could think to ask. But he didn't answer.
Or was speaking in a voice so low
Speaking in rhymes and riddles.
That I hadn't no ears to hear.
Or you were in it the wrong places to be spoken it to.
and I found myself in the wrong place a lot.
Only when the pupil is ready will the teacher appear.
Middle finger to the line was a way of life.
And those were not blurred lines.
They were crystal clear.
No fucks to give.
Your journey is your own, not anyone else's.
Want to burn it?
No. There's not going to be a fire.
There's more.
I said there's more. I know there's something missing.
I would take the blue pill. And
The reason why I would choose the blue pill,
because things are always happening, is how you allow it to attack you. It's like when you walk into a room and you smell an odor, you immediately stop and think what's happening. But if it's thrown on you or it happens while you're in that room, you readjust your thoughts. This last scene was very profound because I can see so many things happening in Black women's lives. When the young lady said, let's burn it, I felt like all of these props was the shit that happens. And it's gonna happen. It's how we rearrange it, how we deal with it. It's there. It was very profound. But then sometimes I would think about the red pill. Do I want to be warned? It's how you look at life, how you were groomed. And as women, we don't know. Every day is a journey, but we have to trust that God in us and the shit that's around us to guide us. This was a good one.
I think the play is saying about life for me is that it's like you have two sets of six in one hand and you have a dozen in the other. And you take whichever one comes your way and you have a choice to either react or respond. And you have to choose which one is going to give you the best results. Some days it may be the red pill at 8 a.m. At 8:05 it may be the blue pill. It just depends on what type of energy you pull and what type of energy you accept.
Yes, because everything is a choice. You can have a bad day, you chose it. You can have a good day, you chose it. It's how you welcome the world, the life, the universe. Because it's gonna happen. You can have a bad day and stay in it. You can have a good day and welcome it. So every day is a blue or a red pill. It's how you woke up that morning. your gratitude.
It's almost like you stuck between a rock and a hard spot. Which way you gonna go? You make your choice and you move on it.